Welcome back to Quetheview. My name's Jack. Today I'm here in Providence, Rhode Island, behind the scenes at the future Grammy-winning band, Couch. Today I'm joined here with one of their members, lead guitarist. I'm joined here with
Zach Blankstein.
Zach, thank you so much for being here.
Good to see you, Jack.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for letting us behind the scenes and having us for sound check.
Of course.
So let's begin our interview. As I usually like to start my interviews, they know who I am. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I think my most important credential today is that I'm your former camp counselor slash babysitter. So this is extra special.
Fun time. We get to do it 2 times. So
2 times. Watch the Red Sox. Scott McDonald's. Good time. But yeah, I'm in a band called Couch. We're from Boston. 7-piece band. We're inspired by 70s music like Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin. Modern music like Chance the Rapper, Bruno Mars, Dua Lipa, and we're 7 people trying to combine interests and musical passions to create this one project together.
Zach, has music been the thing that you have always wanted to do your whole life?
In some way, yeah. My grandfather got me a guitar when I was 3 or 4 and would listen along to The Wiggles and Disney Channel and all these things and try to figure out what was going on in that music and learn to play it on guitar. Eventually started taking lessons and doing it in school and after school programs. And it was always a through point for whatever else was going on in my life. And then at a certain point, I graduated school, college, and had to decide what was next. And I realized the constant this whole time had been music. And so that was probably my calling.
Zach, when did you know you had the rhythm inside of you? You know, the little beep bop, little singing in the shower, rhythm in the mind.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear me singing in the shower, but I think just being around my parents and family and people showing me music that really attracted me and, you know, figuring out how to implement that into my life as a musician.
Zach, fast forward to today to Couch the band. How did you guys all meet?
We're all from Boston, except for our drummer, Jared, who I met in college. And we all went to different high schools, but knew someone, had someone in common or a mutual friend, and eventually decided to start spending time together creating music. And that led us to, a few years later, the same group of 7 people.
Can you tell us the vibe of your band?
I would say it's funky, something you can dance to. We try to make it very musical. We all love music. We like jazz and blues and rock and pop and all these different genres. And we try to take our favorite part from each of those styles of music and put it into Couch.
Zach, where have you guys played? Can you tell us about your tour?
Sure. This tour is called the Sun Shower Tour. We had a record come out in November named Sun Shower, and this tour is promoting that. So we've been all over the country. We started in the East Coast with Boston, New York, DC, Philly, Baltimore. We went out to the West Coast. We hit Colorado. We're going to go to New Mexico for the first time this summer, which we're all very excited about. And we actually went to England last year, which is a big highlight for us.
International, America, all from Boston, except the drummer.
Except for the drummer.
Zach, gotta ask, when you guys are on tour, who gets the biggest room in the tour bus?
We don't have a bus yet. We're in a van. We try to get some rest in there when we can, but the rule is if we have a show the next day, our singer is guaranteed a comfortable bed and a quiet resting place because she needs rest to be able to use her instrument. But otherwise, we're all just sharing hotel rooms, having a really fun time together, going into the pool sometimes at these hotels, free breakfast, doing all the fun stuff that comes with that. What's
the main activity when you guys are on the road? Is it I Spy? What are the activities looking like?
Yeah, we're all huge baseball fans, so many of us are watching or listening to games in the van. We created a word game that's an adaptation of a game some people might know called Ghost, which is you add letters to a word and you try to spell a word, whatever. But we created a version called Couch Ghost, which is you can only use words that have something to do with a person we know or something related to Couch, and becomes really funny. It's a way for us to bring up different memories from across the road and, you know, kill a few hours in the van here and there.
Have to ask, Couch, such a unique band name.
Yeah.
How do you guys get the name?
Yeah, I had a concussion when most of us met, and it was actually the same year that we met, my first summer as one of your counselors. And The concussion put me out of commission for a few months,
Yeah.
and we would spend time in the dark in my basement, sitting on my couch, trying to write music very calmly and quietly, per doctor's orders. But it all happened on that couch in my basement.
Wow.
So there's couch.
That's awesome. What a hometown story. Hometown story. Zach, describe the process of writing a song. Is it collaborative or is it very individual?
I love answering that question because it's something for Couch that keeps evolving. When we first met, it was usually only one or two of us, and we were at different colleges, so it was over FaceTime or Zoom before Zoom was a cool thing to do, and we would start to bring in other people, or when we were fortunate enough to be home for a break from school, we would meet up and try to write in person. But then as COVID started to pass and as we all graduated from different schools, we were home. So for the first time ever, we could sit in a room, everybody holding their own instruments and create music together. So we went from the most remote, small group thing possible to now all of us together in person, which feels so special finally, and creating as a group of 7 people.
As a group, if you could add other people or another band to that group, so if you could collaborate with another band or artist, who would it be and why? It could be anybody, dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Tough question.
Tough question. Yeah, something fun about Couch is that I think each person would answer that question differently, and each person takes the inspiration of whoever that dream collaboration is and brings it into our creative settings. And then Couch just ends up being the combination of someone who likes this artist and this artist and this artist. So I'll answer for myself. Probably Stevie Wonder, or someone who's just an iconic figure in, maybe Earth, Wind, and Fire, someone in that scene who's just inspired so much the way we want our music to feel for other people, because they've taught us how good music can feel when it's done the right way.
So Zach, you're also the business manager for Couch. 2 jobs in one. So right now, I'm going to take off your music hat and put on your business hat. Does merch make all the profits?
It's very important. As a lot of people know, as it's brought to public attention, streaming doesn't really pay the artist very well. But as we talked about earlier today, it's also given us the ability to have more exposure than we ever would, and the opportunity to meet people who would then in turn buy our merch. So merch is certainly one of the most important ways to make money. There's a big controversy right now of venues taking a percentage of our merch sales, and the debate of whether that's fair or not. If they do, should we get a cut of the bar or coat check or parking or whatever it may be? So long story short, merch is very important. It's how we pay for our gas and our hotels, amongst other things. But all of the revenue that should be going to us isn't currently. So it's a bittersweet situation right now.
Business fact by Zach. Zach, we got shows like American Idol, The Voice, America's Got Talent. Do you have a favorite between those 3 shows? And do you think they're fair?
I'm going to say none of the above and say Survivor. It's not a musical show, but I've seen every season of Survivor. I wrote my senior thesis in college on Survivor about persuasion and all these different forms of communication, convincing people in the show. And now that's something we're trying to do, convince people to listen to our music and market the business and project properly. So I don't like American Idol. I like America's Got Talent, but I'm going to say none of the above and go Survivor.
Survivor. Way to go. Zach, as you talked about, you being a music student in music classes, and now we're going to compare and contrast a little bit.
Okay.
What's harder, writing music for Couch or writing an English report in school?
I would say I'm more excited to write music. I'm less excited to write an English paper, but maybe writing an English paper feels lower stakes because it's less of a representation of who I am as a creative person, and it's not me showing my passion, it's just me doing something assigned to me. And when we write a song, it's really emotionally engaging in a way that a school project might not be.
Zach, you brought it up before, but I had to ask, who do you decide is going to pump gas? Because you guys are going around everywhere.
Yeah.
Who is there, like a daily rotation? Is it a round robin? Is one person just really, really good at pumping gas? Who pumps the gas in the band?
Whoever's the driver. The way it works
Okay.
is we pull into the gas station, everyone runs in to get their food, go to the bathroom, whatever's going on. Whoever's driving gets the gas, pulls it over into a parking spot, and then we all wait for them as they do their thing.
And when it comes to snacking on the road,
Mm,
do you
very
guys
important.
are you guys more of a restaurant person where, you sit down, you talk, you have a waiter or waitress, or are
Mhm.
you guys just drive through, get in, get out, let's keep going on the
Yeah,
road?
it's the right time for that question. We used to be drive-through, fast food, junk all the time, not a lot of sleep. And the purpose of this whole tour, in addition to promoting our record, was also to figure out how to do this more sustainably. So for the first time ever, hotel every night, bed every night. We're getting real good foods to eat and to try to nourish ourselves on the road, and everyone feels way better for it. But you can't pass up a McDonald's once in a while.
I know. I say good for you, not good for the soul. Good for the soul, not good for you. It balances out.
Sure does.
Well, thank you again for watching. I'm joined here with
Zach Blankstein.
Zach Blankstein. Today, our mic is Zach's record from the collection. Zach, thank you so much for being on Quetheview. Again, really appreciate it. And nothing yet to say, but we're out.